Chaturanga, Dandasana. Chat means four, anga is limb, and danda is staff. So it's four-limbed staff. That's because our body is going to be held straight like a stick or a staff, and there are 4 points of contact with the floor: our hands and our tippy toes. It does require quite a bit of upper body strength, so I'll give a variation. I'll give a variation when we come on the knees, so we reduce the weight requirement for the upper body. But it is worth to practice this to try and build up the strength so that you can get straight into it. Nice, quick, short video, no anatomy, no great explanation, but there are a couple of key points that I want to go over, so I'll show you in the video. So let's get to it. Chaturanga, Dandasana. Okay, a couple of pointers for Chaturanga Dandasana. First of all, our hands. Our hands need to be nice and wide. You want to spread the weight evenly throughout your fingers and through all parts of your hand, so they're nice and spread wide. Next thing is the crease of your elbow. They need to be pointing towards each other as far as possible. This will change as we go into the move, but generally speaking, down dog, handstand, anything like that, the creases are facing towards each other. The next thing is your hands need to be directly below your shoulders, because then your center of gravity is going through your arms and it's more of a balance rather than a muscular strength to hold you in position. Then Dandasana, staff, it's a straight line. So your butt shouldn't be too far up or too far sunk, and I'll show you, what I mean by that. Remember the pelvic tilt? We're going to tuck our tailbone under again, so that will help to straighten out the back. And then we're going to come up on our tippy toes and we're going to go forward. I'll show you. So adopt the position. As I said, shoulders, hands shoulder width apart. If you've got broad shoulders, make sure it is the right and it's not too close. Shoulder width apart, fingers spread nice and wide. Start off in normal plank position, but to curl your sacrum, your tailbone in under. So you've got to straight back as far as possible. Then you come up on your tippy toes and then you bend forward. Okay? Now notice that can't talk and do it. Notice that my upper arm is parallel with the floor and that the lower arm doesn't change. As I come forward, here's my arm, it comes forward like this. It doesn't concertina like this. Comes forward like this. So your body is moving forward. Show you again. Up into the position, tuck the tailbone, back nice and straight, up on the tippy toes and forwards. And we hold that there for a little while. Now, again, variation, because that is quite tough, to do it properly it is quite tough. The variation is quite simply is to drop on your knees. Okay, so you're on your knees, put your feet flat, and then you come forward. Now you have to do a bit of adjustment to make sure that your elbows are going to stay, and you're not going to get exactly the same movement, but it is a good start. It's still quite a tough move, still quite difficult to do it properly, but you're going to have a little bit of restriction on the movement because you don't have that flexibility as you do when you're on your toes to come forward. So once more, nice and square over the top, hands spread wide, up on the tippy toes and forwards. And come back up. We're going to jump forward a little bit here because we are going to move into up dog. We'll probably do another video on it, but I just want to, for now, let you know that from Chaturanga, we're going to do that sternum up movement. We're going to move our body forward and upwards. Let me show you. So again, into the position, into our plank, tuck our tailbone, up on the tippy toes, forwards and hold for a little while. Then when we go, the feet go flat on the floor and we push our chest forwards and up into up dog. Okay, it's just to give you the idea. A lot of people just bend straight up and that's going to put a huge stress on the lower lumbar. With all of these, we need to move our whole entire upper body up And in this particular case, we want to bring our sternum up. So we're lengthening that spine before we ask it to do this backwards bend. If we go straight into the bend, your vertebrae are very compressed in the lumbar and you can cause damage. It's also going to restrict your movement. This is the case with all of these back bends, is that we need to create that space by lifting our upper body. I'll show you again. So here we are, nice high plank, tuck the tailbone, up on our tippy toes, forwards and hold, and then drop the feet, and then push forwards and upwards. And that's it. That's basically Chaturanga. The other thing to remember, and a lot of people forget this, is that your feet are pushing into the mat. So when you're here in your Chaturanga, your up dog, you're not just passive. These feet are actively pushing into the mat. Okay, so you're coming up and you're actively pushing in. What you'll need to feel for is if you get a pinch in that lower back, you're bending too far. What you need to do is come out, raise your upper body, then go back in, because you've got to create that space. But pushing your lower leg, your foot into the mat, using the strength of your legs, is going to help with that lengthening, and it's going to help to create the space in your lumbar. Okay, so that was Chaturanga Dandasana. The quality of that video wasn't superb because it's quite a difficult position to achieve, and again I'm trying to talk through it. What I would normally do is demonstrate with a film and then voice over, but the sound quality kind of goes a bit garbage, so I wanted to do it all in one. Key things to remember: hands spread nice and wide, shoulders directly above your wrists, elbow creases pointing towards each other. Try to keep your back straight, tuck that tailbone in, and then as you come up on your tippy toes, you go forwards so that the bottom part of your arm stays exactly where it is and the top of your arm folds forward like this, and then keep parallel. Practice with ordinary push-ups for a little bit of upper body strength. If you really can't achieve it, drop on your knees and keep the back as straight as you possibly can. Keep the rest of the position as it is and just build up to it. Not easy, but as we said before, everything worth achieving is going to take a little bit of effort and a little bit of time to get into it. So that's it, we're very close. We're just going to do down dog, which is going to be a little bit longer because there are a few key points in down dog that I really want to go over. Then we can do our sun salutation Harry style. Until then, my friends, Harry on.